Hey everyone, welcome back to Self-Serving Skillet. We're here in the month of July and we do not want to heat up the house. We're running fans, we're running AC units, we're doing whatever we can to stay cool so we don't want to produce extra heat inside the house. So all this month, I'm not going to turn on a single burner and we're going to make delicious meals using no heat. So what says summer like a really good coleslaw, and what says coleslaw like something really nice and refreshing, slightly tangy? And I'm gonna use my tangy barbecue sauce that I made on Patreon. Any tangy barbecue sauce will work for this. You could even make it sweet if you want, because you can make it tangy by adding extra vinegar, and we'll do that a bit later. Any slaw starts with a cabbage, and I'm just using the green cabbage here. You could use the red cabbage, you could use the nab cabbage, but I'm using the green here because the barbecue sauce is going to give it a little bit of a red hue, and I thought maybe the red cabbage would be lost on the barbecue sauce. So going green today, and I'm gonna put that half down on the cutting board and cut it nice and thin. You can go it as slowly as you want to try to get this nice and thin. Don't even worry about making it too long, because we can always finish what we're doing, flip it the other way, and cut it a few times. Carrots! Now, anytime we're cutting a round object, we're in the danger zone. So what I want you to do is cut this in half and make a flat surface. We're then gonna come along this carrot and cut this nice and thin, flip those a third time, and make our little matchsticks. You, of course, are welcome to use a cheese grater if you'd like, or a mandolin, or something like that. I just want a little bit more control over this carrot. And don't worry if you mess it up. I always have to go through a few cuts before I remember exactly what I'm doing. You want to throw that all in a bowl after you get that processed, and throw that in a bowl with about a big spoon of salt and mix it around and leave it sit for at least 20 minutes. But I had some errands to do, so I left it sitting for about an hour. And as you can see, the salt is drawing some of the water content out of these vegetables. And this is doing two things. One, it's making sure that our dressing that we're gonna throw into our coleslaw later on doesn't get too liquid. And two, this is softening up the vegetables a little bit. We still want that crunch, but we never want it to feel like work. We never want it to feel like we're actually eating our way through a whole head of cabbage. So after you get all this water out, and you can definitely rinse this off, rinse the excess salt off of this coleslaw. I'm not gonna do that because I would salt anyway, and this isn't too much salt for me. Your mileage may vary. You want to wring out all of this coleslaw and set it aside in another bowl until you get it all wrung out. Wipe out your bowl, and then we can start building our slaw. And I'm gonna start with about a half a cup of that tangy barbecue sauce, and I'm just going to clean out my measuring cup with about a big spoon of apple cider vinegar. We're gonna add more apple cider vinegar later, but we're just gonna do this one now, get a little more barbecue sauce in our dish. Then I'm gonna go in with about the same quantity, half a cup of mayonnaise. Now, I made this mayonnaise. If you wanna make your own mayonnaise, it's very easy, very simple to do, and I've done a couple videos on that. I'm gonna link something somewhere and in the description and at the end of the video. All right, have all of that mixed in, and it's looking really good. Now, coleslaw is easy, right? Usually you have some sort of creamy base, and if you don't want to use mayonnaise, you could use Greek yogurt that has a little bit more tang to it. You might have to use a little bit less vinegar if you go that route. If you want something richer, use sour cream. I used mayonnaise, and barbecue sauce because I want this to have sort of a barbecue sauce bite. Cooking without heat, or I guess assembling. That is the theme of this month, is we're using this barbecue sauce. So for about the half head of cabbage that we did, that was a total cup of sauce, and that's your cream. And then beyond that, you have sweet and tangy, which is just, well, what's sweet is sugar is sweet. So you could add sugar as your sweetener. You could do honey. You could do maple syrup. What's tangy? Well, acid. What's an acid? Citrus fruit is acid. But we probably want to go more towards the vinegar. Now, I'm using apple cider vinegar, especially because that's what I used in my barbecue sauce. I went through a ton of vinegars in the last video, in the 7-layer barbecue dip, and all of those pertain to what could be right here. So let's dig in. Let's see how we've done. Let's see if we need to add anything else. Okay. This is really nice. I like this a lot. It's creamy enough. It is tangy. It's slightly tangy. I could use a little bit more tang. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to go in with about a 1/4 cup more of this tangy barbecue sauce, just by filling up this 1/2 cup that I already have. And then I'm going to do the same thing that I did before, about a big spoon of that apple cider vinegar, and wash down this measuring cup with it. Let's mix that up and see how it tastes. All right, second attempt. Should be a little bit more tangy, a little bit more flavorful. That's it. So what did we learn? Sauce plus sweet plus sour plus cabbage plus carrot equals delicious. If you want to check out some more barbecue sauce stuff that I've done this month, no cooking, that's going right here. And if you're interested in that homemade mayonnaise, I'm going to leave it right here. Get in the kitchen and make yourself something amazing. I'll see you next week. I love you guys.